Hi, it's Professor Moylan. In this micro lecture, we're going to add content to our Canvas course. Now, in the fall semester, in addition to what I normally use, the assignments and quizzes, I'm also going to add videos and audios, PDFs, web links, a whole bunch of content. Typically, there are three ways to add content, and I'm going to use Canvas's nomenclature. You can import from an existing course. You can import from Commons. You can add from your computer. And I think most people import from an existing course or add from their computer. But I want to give you another option. Export from an existing course to your computer and then add components back. And the reason that I suggest that is if you import an entire existing course, sometimes you've got a whole lot of stuff there, and now you've got all that extra stuff in your new course, and maybe it makes it harder to kind of find things. So what I have found useful to do is when I'm done with a course, export that course to my computer, get everything all arranged in easy to see fashion on my computer, and then bring them back into the course. If you want to do that, here's how you export your course content. Click on that, and then it takes a little while to package it together and then download it to your computer. And then once it's done that, you want to save it and then massage it so that it's in kind of easier to find format there. That's what I've done there. Okay, now importing content. You don't have to bring everything in. That's why I exported those 163 files, because I didn't want them to all come in. I'm only going to import select specific content, not everything. You can, of course, but I think it's better to make it easier to manage your course, to just bring in things a little bit more slowly. So I'm going to specifically bring in the assignments and the quizzes. And so that's done. They brought them in. Now they are in the background of my new course. Students can't see these until I, bring them up. They're in the background, if you will. So here we've got all my quizzes, and you notice the dates: January 17, January 24, January 29. Well, when I bring those up individually, I'm obviously going to have to change the dates. And students can't see any of this, even though it says it's published in an unpublished bucket, if you will. So students can't see any of this. But here's how I'll bring it in. Day one, we're going to have a quiz, an assessment quiz. So I'm going to go into that, and there's my thing, my beginning assessment. So I will click on that, and then I will, assign it to everyone and have the due date and when it's available, and then we'll save it. It's published, but the students can't see it because the course isn't published. Once the course is published, then they will have access to that. Adding files from your computer. You can do them one at a time, or you can batch them. Right now, I have no files in my new course. 0% of my storage is used. There are absolutely no files there. If I wanted to add a file, when I go to my bucket day one, add file, if I had any files saved, I would see them here, but I don't. So the only thing I can do is add a new file. So I'll click on that, and it will tell me to go find a file, choose file. So I will click on that, and then up will come my computer file system, and I'll go find the file I want and bring it in one at a time. Or if I know I want a bunch of files to be able to access, I can batch drop them in there. For example, when I'm going to have my class on the federal tax system, I'll bring my federal tax forms in. So there are, my 1040, my Schedule 1, my Schedule 2, and so on. And then I will select all those, drop them there. Now when it's time to add a file, take a look. In addition to new file, which I can always add new files, I've got the files that are in the course, as it were. So I can go and select those that way. Assignments, same thing. I can create a new assignment, or I can bring in an assignment that already exists in the course. Same thing with the quizzes. We saw that a second ago. Page. I like to use new page and type assignments, information in for the students. So click on that, and day one class details, type or paste, whatever you want there, and then save it, and then the students can see that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our day one bucket looks like. There's my day one class details. So I've got my day one class details that I just created. I've got that beginning assessment that I brought in a little earlier. I've also got a syllabus, and this is the traditional syllabus that I normally hand out on day one. You see it's a Word document. Don't confuse that with, if you look over to the left, you see we've got a tab that says syllabus. That's a different thing. If I click on that, what I see are all of the assignments that I have created. And so that shows the students, assignments as they're due in chronological order there. So that's a different thing than the traditional syllabus. Text header. I like to use text headers just to pass information along. For example, don't forget to get the textbook. And I move that up to the very, very top of the day one class bucket. External URL. If I want to do a hyperlink to something maybe on YouTube, this is where I'll put that. And that's exactly what I do. Personal Finance Essentials. This is a great YouTube video. I like my students to watch the first week of class. Bill Ackman. Everything you need to know about finance and investing in under an hour. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? The students love that video, and it really gets them ready for the financial planning class.